Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new video for Halvonis, and we are going to be doing a quick look at, well not I say quick look, but we're going to be doing a full playthrough right now of Without With Him. So we're going to start. Vinity, 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 the chants of my fans echoed through the door in front of me. One of my two bodyguards wrapped his hand around the doorknob. Please prepare yourself, Miss Vinity. Once I open this door, we'll head straight to our limo. The guard had no reason to fret. I had long since grown used to these crowds. Still, I nodded and put him at ease. After taking a deep breath, he pushed the door open. A crowd of hundreds raised their cameras as soon as I stepped out. My guards waved their arms to shoo them away. The red carpet was for me to walk on, after all. I blew a kiss to these starstruck peasants. Miss Vinity, please, let's hurry, said the bodyguard. Too bad for him. I strutted along like a model on a catwalk. A group of reporters managed to worm their way through the crowd. They tiptoed over my bodyguards in hopes of scoring an exclusive Vinity. How does it feel to have won another Calligrapher of the Year award? A reporter asked me. Before I could answer, another dozen people shouted over each other, hoping for my attention. Vinity, may I get a photo with you? Can you sign some autographs for my kids? And two for me, of course. I can't believe I'm standing this close to Vinity. My fans stomped their dirty shoes all over that red carpet. Finally, the bodyguards pulled out their pepper sprays and kept these fans in check. A young male reached in my direction despite having a spray aimed in his face. Rather admirable for a peasant. I extended a hand to this male fan to kiss. Unfortunately for him, he fainted at the sight of my perfectly polished nails. I reached my limousine at last. My bodyguard opened the door for me. As I climbed in, my trailing fans snapped as many photos as they could. Miss Vinity, the crowd chanted as the car window pulled up. How odd, they never referred to me as Miss. Oh, my graceful presence must have been too much for their sanity, these poor things. Miss Vinity. Oh. Well, I had fun while it lasted. At least I got to ride in the limousine for a good 30 seconds. In real life, my only registered vehicle was, well, my 10-year-old bicycle. My apartment had no space for a car anyway. Actually, this single room with cracked walls might be an insult to the world apartment. Pull up those curtains for a spectacular $1 view, featuring a sewage pipe and a wall tainted with yellow. Just open the window if you wish to smell the sewage as well. A breathtaking experience, by the way. Sorry, I needed to take that my room one thing. What? I needed to take back the one room thing. This place actually had two rooms, thank you very much. The second room happened to be a toilet. That still counted, right? The toilet clogged 3 times a month, so be careful when using it. Miss Vinity, a woman's voice echoed from outside. She was no fan, but rather my landlady. I glanced over at the clock, 6 a.m. Waiting another hour or two would have been nice. She probably just wanted to tell me about another rent raise, or nothing good can come from that woman's mouth. I would be better off staying in bed. So this is where we come to two choices. Now, I've played this game before. Well, I've played it last night. And I can tell you that if you stay in bed, bad things happen. If you rise and shine, however, coming as a change into something more appropriate, the landlady still kept knocking. I said I was coming, did I not? Maybe I should walk out naked if that's what she dug. If this were a game, we might get a sale boost, too. Good morning, Miss Vinity, the landlady said. I must ask, what's with that hair? Looks like you just woke up. That's because I did. It's a waste for young ladies like you to sleep away your youth, the landlady shook her head. She had no right to preach to me like this. I wanted to tell her, but decided against it. As doing so would give her an excuse to lecture me further. With her size, if I enraged her, she would squash me into Vinity-flavored pancake. Miss Vinity, your rent is due 3 days ago. Oh, well, at least there was no rent increase. Sorry, ma'am. My next paycheck will come after tonight's shift. So I'll pay you first thing in the morning. The landlady grunted. Alright, just know that if this keeps up, you will have to find somewhere else to live. She spun around to leave. Once she disappeared behind the corridor, I kicked my door shut, causing a piece of the cracked wall to fall off. I tried shoving the piece back into place. My effort resulted in more wall fragments flaking off. Great, the landlady would make me pay for that next month. Once I became an accomplished calligrapher, she would beg for the chance to shine my shoe. Hey, I sounded a bit ranty before, but that was never my intention. A lot of famous people had humble beginnings. I would follow in their footsteps, but first, I need to put in some work. Without within. As I returned to the busiest street in my area with my calligraphy spread before me, I sat at the concrete and rested my back against the fence. Car horns blared behind me, mixed with people shouting things about each other's mothers. These cars kept expelling fumes that made me choke. Just one of the many things I dealt with in the name of art. Pedestrians took up almost every inch of the space on the street ahead. Surely this would be the day when somebody spotted my talent. Yeah. Dot dot dot. Dot 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 dot. Dot 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 dot. As always, no one afforded me anything but a passing glance. And my will soon dwindled. Let me be honest, I never expected to be showered with praise by every head who passed through here. What was the old saying? 10% of people who reached out to will buy your work? I could live with that. Even just 1%. Please, anything but 0. I wanted to scream at these people. They had no idea how much sweat I had poured into these calligraphies. So, I guess that now, again, since I've played this before, I know that if you rant, again, bad things happen. There's no 2-lane system in this game. It's actually just one good choice, one bad choice. Bad choice leads to a game over. And what these calligraphies are that she is referring to is actually, it's Japanese, I believe. A Japanese form of art in which you have several pieces of paper that are lined with a saying or a word, and that is supposed to be considered art. Now, I consider it art because it does take time and effort to do all that stuff, so yeah. And there's nothing particularly different about the backgrounds. A lot of this stuff can be just placeholder for a little bit, I think, because this game is in development. Alright, persevere. I decided to keep these pleasures to myself. People often said patience would be rewarded. I wondered if my patience would ever become worthwhile. Just as I thought this, a man paused to look at my calligraphies. He had a bucket of fried chicken in his hand. The smell made my mouth water. As the man eyed my works one by one, I felt my cheeks heating up with anticipation. At last, someone who spared me more than a moment from with my works. This must be my reward. The timing could hardly be more perfect. I summoned the courage to speak to the man, but he spoke first. You're charging for these? I managed a tiny nod. The man snorted. I would never hang these on my wall even if you gave them to me for free. Seriously, this is the most shameless display I've ever seen. ... Trolls online were one thing. Confronting one in real life is a rarity. Judging from this man's scrawny arms, I bet I could overpower him with ease. Then he would just be a big blunder. With ease. Then he would know just how big of a blunder he had made. Now, you can choose to attack the man or restrain yourself. Again, this is one of those good choice, bad choice ones. Restraining yourself makes everything okay. Attacking gives you a game over after a hilarious thing. I'll probably do a separate video where I do the bad choices. But, yeah. So we're going to restrain ourselves. Folks always said to ignore trolls. I clenched my teeth and stayed put. After chuckling in my face, the man strutted off. Determined to prove him wrong, I continued to sit there and wait for potential customers. Another 1,000 people walked by without sparing me a look. Lingering here only longer would be a waste of time. As I packed up my things, I insisted I was leaving because my part-time job started in an hour. Deep inside, I knew that man's words had rocked my confidence. Giving up on calligraphy would mean that I had wasted all this time over nothing. Yet if I lacked the gift, persevering might make things worse. Tears welled in my eyes, and I clenched my fists to hold them back. Speaking of tears, I heard a kid crying in the crowd. It looked like we had a lost child on our hands. Some protesters shot him glances, but none of them offered more than that. These really were horrible people. To cheer myself up, I told myself I would never want my calligraphies to be owned by people like that. I should help the kid, but that would mean being late for my job. You could choose to ignore him or help. Obviously, the good answer here is to help, but ignoring him, I think, does, it makes you like a hypocrite in your own mind, and then you start having so much doubt. So, we're going to help the poor child. If I judged others for abandoning a child, then I did the same myself, I would be a jerk and a hypocrite. With a sigh, I walked over to the boy. There, it's okay. Did you lose Mommy? The boy was sobbing too hard to answer. I leaned in to stroke his back, and one hand on his head with the other. Let me know if you lost Mommy, okay? I'll help you find her, so there's no need to be scared. The kid managed to nod, and I whispered, "Good boy," into his ear. "What's your Mommy's name?" "Hungry." "Her name is Hungry." The boy's tummy growled, and I realized what he meant. "Oh, well, how about I buy you a sandwich?" And the kid shook his head. "I want ice cream." "Hey, kid, ice cream's more of a dessert, actually." "I want ice cream." And so ice cream it was. One for him and none for me. The money came out of my pocket, of course. My poor, poor wallet. At least this kid could have eaten the whole thing, rather than let half of it melt in his shirt. "Jessie," the boy said. "That's Mummy's name." "Jessie, Jessie," I called out and strolled along the street. Now people stared at me more than ever. Enough to make me blush. In fact, maybe I should try shouting Jessie at random next time I sold calligraphies. The sky turned orange as time ticked by. Yes, I knew my shift started half an hour ago. Stop reminding me. A woman squeezed through the crowd and scurried towards us. She ran past a red light, nearly getting hit by a truck in the process. "Mommy!" The boy shook free of my hold and rushed to his mother's embrace. After muttering apologies to her son, the woman gazed towards me. "Oh, thank you for your help. You're wonderful, just wonderful." A torrent of praises curled my lips into a stupid grin. Anyone would have done the same thing. "Please, if there's anything I can do in return, just let me know," the mother said. "Actually, there is something I need help with." The mother nodded. "Anything within my power, miss." "Which way back to the train station?" Within. And these are obviously the works that were happening as it was in development, or is still in development. The sky had gone dark by the time I arrived at work. I opened the restaurant door gingerly to avoid making a noise. Stealth mode switched on. They called me Ninja Vinity for a reason. "Miss Vinity!" The voice of my boss nearly made me bump into the ceiling fan. "Sorry I'm late," I wanted to explain, but my boss glared at me, and my tongue slurred out a bunch of syllables. My expression was in there somehow. Probably. Maybe. I received an earful from my boss, but at least I got to keep my job. Several colleagues shot me frowns at being here during such a busy period, at not being here for such a busy period. In the end, I took all the blame without complaint. Well, at one point, I locked myself inside a toilet and screamed into the bowl. I also might not have fantasized about dunking my workmates' heads into the toilet. That was for me alone to know, though. At least I earned the paycheck I needed to keep my landlady quiet for another month. As for the month after that, we would have to see when that time comes. All I wanted was to pursue my art, but reality kept pressuring me toward finding a second job. On my way home, I spotted a banner for an upcoming visual novel named The Princess Area. The game had been hyped over on every forum I knew. Amazing art along with a cast of famous voice actors. The writer and composer were big names too. Also, I'll point out, she can hardly live in her apartment. So how is she able to like go on internet forums and look at all this stuff? I don't know. All right, let's go. For Princess Area to have an ad this big, there must be a lot of money behind that project. The way this banner hung high gave me a sense it was extra important. Bright lights shone on the princess's face to impress potential players. Yes, that was what I really needed. If I had a banner like that, no doubt people would line up to buy my calligraphy. I could already imagine how folks would react as I walked along the streets. Hey, I think that was Vinity. Wow, no way. You mean the famous calligrapher I see on all those banners? Yeah, she must be really good. Maybe we should ask her for an autograph. My agent would then step in and speak on my behalf. Please line up in an orderly fashion, everyone. How much for an autograph? Shut up and take my money. My agent nodded in response. Autographs are available for $100, thanks. $100. That would be $100, thanks, the game shop owner said. Princess Area cost twice what I predicted. If I bought the game, I would have too little left for rent. I opened my wallet hoping I might have more cash on hand than I realized. Turned out it had less, actually. I hung my head in the storekeeper's side. His arched brows pressured me into buying a game. I did ride 3 trains to get here. Might as well pick up something. I told the storekeeper how much money I had, and he shook his head. The store owner pulled out a different game from under the table. He brushed away the dust on so I could see the cover. The title read Sunflower War, some visual novel about the battlefield. Copyright 1997, the bottom read. No matter, it was so cheap. Art by Invert Mouse, whoever the heck that was. The front cover would fit perfectly in a kindergarten classroom. I have flipped the case to see what was highlighted on the back. The game supported up to a 640 by 480 resolution. Truly the pinnacle of technology. Just so you guys know, this is actually what the game is. This within is in. It's in that. The storekeeper grimaced as he must sense that I wanted to say no. His stare made my palms stain with sweat, and I ended up buying the game. Dealing with folks like that has always been a weakness of mine. Remind me never to visit that store again. Within. I like the fact that they have the stuff here like this. With heavy strides, I returned to my apartment. Zero calligraphy sales, late for work, and with rent, topped off by blowing cash in some game I had no interest in. What I really wanted to play was Princess Area, forcing myself to suffer over anything else that would upset me further. So you can choose to play or sleep. This is a pair book, if you look, as they can't afford the copyright for Apple. But we're going to play the game. I did spend money on Sunflower War. Might as well have a go. The day left me pretty drained, so this relic of a game was a good job putting me to sleep. I switched on my laptop, inserted the disc, which I partly hoped would fail to load from old age. Too bad it worked just fine. No doubt a lot of people were loving Princess Area right now. Meanwhile, here I was enjoying this 640 by 480 godsend. No voice acting either. These illustrations looked like they were done by a child. I'd be better off closing my eyes and imagining my own artworks. The grass reached up to our knees as I read along. I painted an image of the scene in my head. These plants rustled as we waded through. We paused every few steps, fearing there might be snakes hiding behind the bushes. Somehow we managed to survive the evening. The sun surged from behind the horizon, outlining the earth with an orange glow. Slowly the sky emerged and vanquished the darkness that had haunted us. As light bathed the soil, I found myself in the field of sunflowers. I had imagined this place looked far more terrifying, but anxiety and, well, somehow, we managed to survive. Oh, it went behind. As light bathed the soil, I had imagined this place looked more terrifying, but anxiety had merely been playing tricks on me. I drew a deep breath to savor the morning fragrance, and the distant birds chirped as they applauded our arrival. I could see it. I could see it. Not only that, but touch, hear, and smell too. An experience crafted by my imagination. The image rivaled the strokes of any artist and belonged to me alone. This fulfillment inspired me to take things further. The blast of gunfire deafened us as we dove behind the wall. A bullet whizzed past the tip of my helmet. Sam had passed his helmet on to me. With her dying breath, I would carry on her legacy. The desert heat pinched sweat from every pore. I desperately wanted to empty this water bottle down my throat, but with no help in sight, I must conserve every drop. Oh. Can I go back? No. Yes. Alright. No. Return. Okay. Joe's eyes closed, this time never to reopen. Despite our promise to survive together, only I managed to live. How I wished I could take her place. I finished reading Sunflower War right as the clock struck 3 a.m. How so many people had missed this classic left me dumbfounded. Actually, that would be a lie. I too had every intention of tossing the game aside. I kept demanding excitement without offering an ounce of passion in return. If I played my part, I might be able to discover much more. As Sunflower Wars credits rolled, I realized just how small the development group was. The team probably knew they stood no chance against bigger studios, yet still they did their best with dated technologies to deliver a vision they believed. The happiness they felt when working on the project poured out every line in this game. I could gaze right into their heart, the one thing I had long neglected. Oh? Mommy! Daddy! Vinity? What is it, darling? Look! It's my calligraphy! Honey, it's calligraphy. But that's great. I think you have a lot of talent. Hee! This is so much fun. I'm going to become a calligrapher. I had forgotten the last time I found joy in calligraphy. Every stroke these days felt like a grocery chore. All I obsessed over was how much, or rather how little, people paid attention to my efforts. My works no longer possessed heart, and I failed to notice it. Time to do something about that. I could hardly wait to start. After all, I chose this path because I love it. Nice little illustration there of the artwork. The next day, I ventured outside with a new set of calligraphies. Though I made no sales thus far, I still found myself beaming. That might explain why some people smiled back. Perhaps it was the weather, but I swore everyone felt warmer today. Mommy, there she is, the ice cream lady. A boy dragged his mother into my direction. It was that kid I helped out yesterday. The mother and I exchanged nods. Honey, that lady has a name. It's rude to call her by the ice cream lady. What's her name then? Oh my, it's, well, sorry, what is it? It's Vinity. The mother slapped her boy on the back. See, her name is Miss Vinity. Mommy, can we buy one of these doodles from the ice cream lady? Doodle must be another word for top-of-the-line calligraphy. No other explanation could restrain me from shaking the brain out of this boy. My name was nowhere inside that little brain anyway. The mother checked her wallet, and her face scrunched up as mine often did. Oh, good, madam. I know how it felt to be living on the edge of being homeless. Please, 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 the boy nagged on. This showed why I would never have kids. Mother relented at last and bought one of my works. Guess the boy wanted to repay my kindness. I gave his hair a ruffle as thanks. After flashing his missing tooth with a grin, he pulled his mother back into the crowd. Well, at least I scored better than marks than yesterday. Another man strolled toward me. Wow, I was on a roll now, with hearts on my side. My fame and fortune had arrived. Clean my shoes, peasants. Hey, it's you again, man said. Oh, the troll from yesterday. I calmed my thoughts to avoid causing a scene. Maybe this guy came to apologize. Even a creep like him must know how rude he was. Yes, my aura had cleansed him of evil thoughts. Go on, empty your wallet to my greatness. Wow, these new scribbles were even worse than the ones you did yesterday. Dot dot dot. Dot 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 dot. Somehow I had turned into an internet celebrity. Crazy calligrapher dubstep remix with original. Top comment. Damn! Snap! Wow. She went full crazy. Lol. Triangle mouth at 7 seconds. Illuminati. She be like, why you no buy? More like, this might be a good time to look for that second job. Thank you for playing. That was a pretty awesome little video, little game. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I would like to see more from them. This is a very good work, and how they break the fourth wall with the actual people is awesome. So just so you know what I mean, Invert Mouse is the guy that is the company that made it, and the illustrator is when they were talking about how the dated graphics were and stuff. This is how this game was made to visually appeal to you. So I enjoyed it. I would probably play more of it. I hope that there's more coming out. But anyway, guys, we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.